JKLive here in Citizen Television. Those are the pictures of a man who graced our scenes, our screens, the newspapers for half a century or more. With the same pinstripe suit he wore then, he still wears today. He'll wear it tomorrow when he turns 100 years old. Charles Njonjo, more popularly known as Sir Charles, the Duke of Coca-Cola. I tell you, man, 100 years old, what an achievement, what a milestone. And tweets are coming in thick and fast. Let's just read a couple of them in here. Shem Oginga, you say, congratulations to Mr. Charles Njonjo for 100 years. Absolutely, that's across the board. Congratulations. More tweets coming in so thick and so fast. Alan Felice, you say, congratulations on how officially being the most amazing person of the century. I mean, how more amazing can you get than having lived through the entire thing? What thing? Happy birthday, Sir Charles Njonjo. More tweets, thick and fast. Sheila Bahati, you say, happy birthday to Sir Charles Njonjo. 100 years in perfect condition is no joke. Indeed, it is not by works, lest any man boast, but by God's grace. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 9. May perfect health never depart him. Nice. More congratulatory message coming in thick and fast. I am George Washira, says Duke of Coca-Cola, Charles Njonjo, 100 years old. What an honor to have lived such a long life. No doubt, no doubt. Okay, let's get to one more. Wanjeri Joram K, you say, wow, hitting a century is not a joke. I wish he can share with us his secrets. Congratulations, Charles Njonjo. Well, Super Senator Sakaja says he knows some of the secrets of Sir Charles, right? Other than two beers a day.
2 beers a day.
Getting married.
I won't mention that again. But he's lived a full life.
I know, man.
100.
Incredible.
He was 66 when I was born. There is hope.
What?
He gives me hope.
What do you remember about him other than file footage? Do you remember anything?
And his pinstripe suit. I've met him once.
Yeah, you have, huh?
Yeah, I've met him once. In fact, I met him with my boss. I won't say which setting it was.
Yeah.
But he was very inquisitive. And he'd ask, you, where? Sakaja? And he'd remember, I think he remembered my dad from somewhere. And he gave me stories. But he was very, he didn't suffer fools. He doesn't suffer fools.
No.
He doesn't suffer fools. And he will let you know that your point is not hitting it right.
Yeah.
I last then saw him last year at Tomboya's memorial.
Yes.
And it was so nice to see him, you know, as old as he is, getting up there and speaking fondly about Tom, who for me has always been my political role model.
Yeah.
And recounting the days. I think it is just satisfying to see him. Now he's going to look for gorillas in Uganda.
Look at that.
You know,
ticking off the bucket list.
Yeah. So,
ticking it off.
And let me tell you, because I've seen people on Twitter, some saying negative things, positive things. No one's life is perfect, and there is no wrong path. Everyone's journey is what God has ordained it to be. And so all of us make mistakes. He's made his mistakes. He's done it right. He was in Moi's good books at some point. Mm-hmm. Another point, I went to some place in Wangige where the road is terrible. And they say when he fell out with Moi came and plucked it out.
This was part of Kapete or Kikuyu.
It was his constituency. He just plucked off the road. But this is a man who's seen it all. I think for me, I really ask whoever can talk to Sir Charles. We want a book written by him himself or dictated by him himself. Yeah. I know there are many things he can't talk about.
Yes.
But he needs to tell us something. And, you know, as we remember 100 years and we hope he has many, many more years to go, it reminds me of the quote by, one of, I think it's Jomo Kenyatta even, that our fathers were heroes of the past. It's up to us now to be architects of the future. And that's what I tell young people. History is not something that will happen once years ago. It's now. We make history today. And let us make history for this country. So that one day, people will remember Jeff Koinange. People will remember Sakaja. Will remember all of us. Yeah. In our different spheres, not just as leaders.
Correct.
Not just as people on TV. No. In your market, uko in Bunyore.
Yeah.
Make a change. Be known, be remembered for something, and be good. at what you do.
You know, speaking of books, there's a Ugandan who's written an unauthorized biography of Sir Charles.
Yeah.
He's about to release it. His name is Christopher Kikomeko.
It's unauthorized.
Unauthorized because Sir Charles didn't give his permission. But, you know, Sir Charles went to school in Uganda, apparently. He spent his time because he was the son of a chief.
Yeah.
And the prince's kids, you know, they had a kingdom.
Yes.
Remember Bunyore?
Yes.
They had a kingdom.
Buganda kingdom.
Buganda.
Yeah.
So the book is entitled Njonjo's Time.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. And it's coming out in the next few weeks.
Interesting.
Written by a Ugandan.
That's interesting.
And he sent me excerpts and incredible.
You know, Kenyans forget that Sir Charles was the person who had to undo a lot of colonial laws in the 60s. In 1967, he had to do away with, you know, the old colonial passes. He's the one who desegregated our courts, because there used to be courts for whites, courtroom, and for blacks. He changed all that. And these are people who are working on a new, they had a blank check. Yeah. So we might pass harsh judgment sometimes on the Kenyatta One and Sir Charles and all those people. But imagine they had no script. It was a blank check and they had to do what they had to do. It was a blank script. And
tough
he must
task.
be remembered. It was tough. You know, for us, we have, you know, we can refer to even Kibaki and refer to the 70s and 80s and all that. Yes. What are they referring to?
Nothing.
Chiefs. And if it's not chiefs, it's the Queen of England. And all over the continent, it is your peers. Tom Mboya in his 20s, traversing the world, staying at the Piccadilly in London.
Good Lord.
You know, hanging out with JFK and Martin Luther King. Yeah. Who do they have to look up to?
And
so
Malcolm
young people today, you know, and for me, I have a mentorship program of young people. I tell them, you guys are lucky. Me, there was no leader beyond my church setting, and I thank God for my church leaders who mentored me, who could mentor me. But today, you can go online and send a DM to your senator or to your governor, and if they pick it up, you can meet them. You can talk to Manu Chandaria. Yeah. You know, you can talk to Jeff Koinange, and we're connected. Let's make use of that as a generation.
Here's another man who knew Sir Charles very well. It's incredible. You know, the world is such a small place. Patrick, Superstar, and Giroux. Oh my goodness. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, bro. Karibu sana.
That guy he refused to grow old.
I know. He refuses to grow old.
See you.
Thank you. With the secret of youth, Patrick. That's what you have. Karibu sana, bro.
Thank you.
Okay, how old are you, honestly?
65.
Oh, man.
Sit. Over there.
I'm hoping.
You're 65.
I'm hoping. I'm going to get the other 35 to get into close.
But look how he looks at 65.
He looks younger than me.
Patrick, you're 65.
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
And this man who's turning 100 tomorrow?
I tell you, an incredible guy. A guy whom I know, I mean, let me call him that name because we are really supposed to respect him as a mzee.
Yes.
Yule mzee wa kazi. He was the one who was instrumental in getting the Safari Rally into the World Championship in 1978. When the World Championship got in, he was the one who became the patron of the Automobile Association of Kenya.
Yes.
AA of Kenya was affiliated to FIA. They were the only people who were issuing licenses for rallying, motoring, and Canet, FIA Canet for travel. And Honorable Njonjo, when he was the AG, with his good connection and with the Ford, that's why Fords, they were very strong in here. He managed to bring all that team, and he was at every Safari Rally draw. He used to come to every Safari Rally draw that I can remember.
In that pinstripe suit?
Yes, same way. I was trying, actually today, I was trying to get my photographs, which I had with him and President Moi and then Bharat Bhardwaj, the chairman, the one who was then there.
Yeah, I think they're there. There's some of them there. Look there.
Safari Rally. Yes,
there you go.
Yes, there we go. I was trying to get in all of those photographs.
My goodness.
And also of one super senator sitting next to me at the school when his father brought me at the Jamhuri to go and bring the car there to speak.
Sakaja's father.
Sakaja's father. He was the greatest guy you've ever seen. From Firestone. He used to work for Firestone when it was America, not Kenya.
Yes.
Not Firestone, Kenya. Na mzee alikuwa ananipatia tairi 5 sponsorship, Jeff.
Tano. Moja ya spare.
For the rally. because then that was the time that it was so good, to try to bring the African rally championship, the African drivers.
So this stuff of helping other people or uplifting people, it didn't begin, Saeed?
Actually, his mentor is not the church. It is his father.
Yes.
The father, the old man, was such a great guy. He was a nice disciplinarian. Even when he retired to Kitale, I went to visit him back in Kitale.
Yeah.
He's around and he's watching.
Salimia mzee.
You must meet him tomorrow. You must meet him tomorrow.
And also,
Yes.
I tell you, Honorable Njonjo, he was the first man, he was the one who introduced duty-free cars to come into the Safari Rally. And I was the first beneficiary of a duty-free car imported out of Kenya, and 30 tires and 1 engine and 1 gearbox for the Safari Rally, which was given to me by Honorable Doughty, who is the speaker for Machakos, for Kitui County. He's the one who was in charge of the exemptions at the Treasury, at the National Treasury then.
Yes.
But it was so instrumental because as a patron of the AA, he asked for the Ministry of Sport, which was then, if I remember, Eliakim Masale,
Good Lord.
who took over the whole deal. Then it was taken to Parliament, and the Parliament issued legal notice number 81 and 82, which was exempting the rally car and bringing in the engines and the tires and the spares which were necessary.
Duty-free.
To be done. Duty-free.
Wow.
And then there is one more guy, Mike Doughty.
Mike Doughty.
Who won the Safari 4 times. He won the Safari 4 times with Shekameta.
Shekameta.
He was Shekameta's
co-driver. And then Mike went on to become the general manager for Safari Rally for 10 years.
Is he still alive?
Mike is still alive.
Oh, okay, good.
He was celebrating last week. Last week there was a big bash from Sylvia King, Tim Davis, and Mike Doughty, and Mike still strong and smoking. And Mike doesn't change.
Sakaja, do you remember watching this man?
Of course.
You do remember?
Let me tell you, every prize given day. And now I'm connecting. I think it's my dad who used to make sure he comes to a school.
Yes.
He come and do scramble.
Spin. Yeah, spin. Yes.
Like a can.
But Jeff, the Safari, which is back now,
yes.
let me tell you.
Is it officially back?
Is officially back.
It's back.
Let me tell you, the guy who started all that is this super senator of ours. He's the one who started. He started the whole of that. He called me to Serena Hotel.
Yeah.
And we had lunch there. He bought me lunch. We went with Maluki, whom they were classmates. They were classmates at the university.
Yes.
So when the other day the guys started saying, "Oh, this guy never is not educated," I said, "Come on, stop this politics." This politics is here, but politicians. They want to be heard and seen at the same time.
But listen, he also drives.
Yeah.
He also drives. Remember you did that rally the other day?
Yes.
Right?
I drive.
Yeah, super.
I mean, not just drive, but you drive.
You know, Jeff, I've never spoken about what I did for bringing back the Safari Rally, because not everything is for publicity. But we sat down with these guys, we did a roadmap, and the President Uhuru Kenyatta, is a huge supporter. He's played a big role in helping us get it back. And it's taken us some time.
Yeah.
But look at what we have now.
It's coming back.
It was 2013.
It was 2013 when we just got in.
When we started the whole of that thing,
7 years.
And incredible, such a great thing.
And it's going to be the old style, the one we remember.
You know, Jeff, growing up in Nairobi, Safari Rally was something else. It used to happen around Easter. And in the estates, we'd make these rally cars using cigarette packets and tins and the tires. And when we hear Patrick Njiru, we are there. We're fighting who's going to be Patrick Njiru. It's so nostalgic for us.
Yes.
And it'd be flagged off, I think, at the KICC or somewhere, and we'd fight to go and see it. And so my dad used to take me to a lot of the races as well. And the motocross, because he used to give them tires. In fact, sometimes I ask him, because everyone I meet says, "Oh, your dad gave me free tires." Boy, you fired because you gave everyone tires. How many did you sell?
No. He kept giving away tires.
Very generous.
Really,
He's the kindest man I know, my dad.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's exactly 40 years older than me, so he turns 75.
Not bad.
It's 10 years.
10 years,
10
yeah.
years
10 years
older.
You were saying, Sir Charles, also the Himalayan rally. What was that? What was the deal?
When I went in, when he was just about to leave from the AG's office, he was in the AA and we were struggling. We didn't have money. We didn't have anywhere to go. Our usual standard car, home-going car, was our rally car. Or what we used to do, we just used to have the roll cage and bolt it around and say, "This is a rally car," and change the exhaust pipe. Then you use it up on the normal day.
Yes.
Today, like
Yes.
I remember giving Peter Kenneth, Cyrus Jirongo, and Raphael Tuju. You know, we were all living in Umoja. Eh? We were in the Eastland. In the K179s there on the system there, but nice streets and everything, you know, bachelors. In the same curve which we used. So what happened was that then, in 1982, I was invited by the Himalayan Rally to go to do I didn't have money. And Honorable Njonjo called Charles Mukora at Coca-Cola, and he said, give sponsorship to Patrick.
To this young man.
To this young man. I went to Kikuyu. He had an office at Kikuyu. At Kikuyu, pale karibu hapo Kikuyu town. So we went there. He said, he called, the people were there in the queue. He called in and he said, come in, Patrick. So when I went in there, he said, look, this is what you want to do. I want to thank him as one of the pillars of the people who have really supported me in my way of coming up. But like he told you about the mindset, the mindset, he was such a strong guy, but we took it up, but we had discipline. Yeah. Because without discipline, Jeff, you know, and whether you are talented and you are not hardworking, hardworking will overcome talent.
True.
So it was so important that we were really committed and we were working so hard. And, you know, with a team of so many other people.
Yes, sure.
With a team, a lot of team. People just only come to hear about Sakanjo. When you hear Super Senator here, if he tells you the people behind him, the team,
There's a team.
He headed their whole party. He can tell you the thousands and thousands of people. And you know, some come in the good way and another
Sure,
way.
absolutely.
In my own team, I had 200 mechanics.
Whoa.
200.
In the team, particularly in 1990 to win the Group N championship of the world, the first time in Kenya. 200 people behind all of you. And don't forget the teammates were Maku Allen, Possum Bound, some of the fastest drivers in the whole world. And we were all in the same team with them. But when it came to the mud, there's no speed, it's the skill. Because that rally was wet, 1990. And I remember when we completed, I remember, frankly, there are some friends of Honorable Njonjo, who took me to get a trophy from him. That's the story for another. Wow. He is such an incredible, really, as he was saying, forget about what people say.
Yes.
But there are so many people who have done so many good things for us.
Yes.
You know,
and we forget. We forget very easily. By the way, when you were winning that rally in 1990,
yes,
Sakaja was 4.
5.
Imagine, Jeff.
Keep reducing
we
mine
have had people who are starting Kenya industrial estates. The industry, when Kenya went into industrialize.
Yes.
And you know my first industry, Jeff? I started the first industry was to make rulers for schools. The rulers, you know those.
Every year they're required.
The primary,
Now
that
we're importing from China.
That was headed by Charles Bindio. If you remember, Charles
Sakaja,
Bindio
there's
is
a
the one who was
question here
heading
for you. Question, Sakaja, real quick before we wind up. And this person has refused or says, please don't mention my name.
Okay.
Says, Super Senator, how will you address hopelessness amongst the youth? How do you inspire a generation who try to envision a future and they see nothing but people who steal billions and seemingly get away with it?
You know, hope is the most important ingredient for any nation. Francis Bacon said, hope is a good breakfast but a bad supper. That you can wake up with hope, but if you have to go back to sleep with it, you become frustrated. I think you guys need to help us because the stories we exalt, the stories that make the headlines, the stories on the news is about people who've stolen money, it's about corrupt people, it's about heroes who are thugs before, but you don't talk about Patrick Njiru, you don't talk about the positive stories. Even within politics, there are many young guys doing a good job, but we focus on the negative. Let's be a bit positive also as the media. I think someone is asking about Mudhuru.
Actually, to add up to that, what he has said, to add to what he has said, yesterday the President of the Republic was with Boris
Johnson,
signing 170 billion.
Imagine.
And it was at the back page.
Imagine.
And then you come on the front page. Then when you read all there, it's about tea.
Yes.
The tea, the amount of money, the tea that we are going to use, the amount of people you are going to come and employ and put up all of those things. Then you start wondering, what's our thinking? You know,
back page.
That's the back page. You don't even know till you ask the people. The people will not come and tell you. And like he said, I don't want to diverge into that as politics, but like he said, look, the whole of Europe is trying to get closer to business lines.
Yeah.
They're trying to gain business line. What the former Prime Minister and the President have done is to try to get the people of Kenya to work hard. And that is the point actually you should insist on, that the people should get back to working. Because working hard, Jeff, today we have 5 million driving licenses issued. These are people driving. 5 million. You can see what percentage of that.
This guy called William Benson saying, Patrick Njiri, in 1994, I entered your rally car at Nairobi Showground. I remember the experience to date. Great man. And then Bob Drani in Uganda says, don't forget Ian Duncan.
Duncan.
Don't forget Ian Duncan. Hold on. Don't forget Ian Duncan.
And Leonard Mambo. Don't forget Leonard Mambo, the guy mzee wetu,
The Voice.
Kina Doughty Kanja.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all of these guys.
You
and
give
the
everybody
people who
credit, Patrick.
My manager, Ben Obura.
Except himself.
Except himself. These are text messages, okay? Trader says, Mr. Sakaja, please visit Muthurwa Market and close it, for it's so dirty and food we eat comes from it. Please visit it and see for yourself. Muthurwa Market.
I'll go see.
He says he will come, trader. Chuna says, good job, Sakaja. As long as you give local contractors the construction of Nairobi roads, you will never get it right. Kangemi is a classic example. Kabro is better and cheaper. Runda Gardens is an example. Get Chinese contractors.
Jeff, that is sad, but to some extent true. When I went to Kasarani and we're bringing the contractor, and the people were saying, look, we've seen our people doing this road so many times. The same road, there's a section that is still perfect. No pothole as you come up towards Mwiki, up the hill. And you know what they're telling me? We want the Chinese contractor. So I told them, okay, guys, we must believe in ourselves as Kenyans. But for this specific thing, we're able to secure, and it's the Chinese contractor who is on site, who is working on the road.
And that will last.
It'll last. And the problem is, sisi ukipatiwa unataka kukata, sijui how many inches to make a quick buck, tuko na uconman, utapeli.
Kukinyesha.
You know, kukinyesha barabara dissolves as if it's made of, I don't know what. Salt.
Actually, Jeff, what the senator is saying, look at Allsops.
Yes.
Yeah.
The interchange which is being created there. Look, I mean, the traffic which has been there is going to be like the one which used to be on Murang'a Road, on Wangari Maathai Road.
Yes.
Finished, cleared, and completed completely. At the Allsops, you see how the road is going.
Oh, it's gonna
Spaghetti.
And how it is going, the spaghetti.
Yes.
And nobody is going to get interfered. Now, instead of us rushing our engineers to go and study this and understand this, because it has never been done. It's the first time that is happening.
What we've agreed with Kura.
Yes.
We've said all these people, especially for Nairobi, I told him we will not allow another contractor who, one, has done a shoddy job elsewhere, or number two, his work, it's taking too long, has to be said, we will blacklist them and we will not allow them on site.
And you'll make sure?
As Nairobians, we will not allow. We've agreed with in fact, Engineer Kinoti, I must applaud him. He responded so swiftly. We went with him to the ground. He left the office. He doesn't have to. He's not a politician. He's a technocrat. He'd have sent engineers. He said, I want to come myself and see that Kasarani Mwiki Road and talk to the contractor myself as the boss of Kura. So I applaud him and I want to tell him, wacha tukae chini, we look at all of those other guys who are doing a bad job. Nairobians deserve better. We pay so much taxes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Douglas Nagy from Nairobi says, I support the BBI, but I have been disappointed at what I have seen the last two meetings, Kisii and Kakamega. Those were political rallies. My fear is that this is going to create more divisions and we are running away from the Big Four agenda.
Jeff, we spoke about the vision. You won't do the hardware in the Big Four without unity. And I just want to assure Kenyans, because people are worried about the tone of the politics now and the hype. Let them relax. We politicians will sort that out. Kenya will come out stronger out of this. It's just natural for people to be, anxious about the future, etc. But what we are doing and what we must do together is for the best. It's for the good for this country.
And for our kids and their kids.
And for our kids, yeah.
Let's go back to tweets. Mutoro GM says, Senator, we need synergy between the county government and all the sub-counties in Nairobi. Totally disengaged leadership with internal competition and squabbles. Sad.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
One more tweet and then we close out. Chris Sunday 17. Please ask Sakaja if the county government still plans to implement the car-free days, or the progress rather. In most European countries and even Rwanda, it has worked so well to reduce pollution, improve healthy living, and create temporary play zones for children.
Well, I'm not sure they're still intending to implement that, because the last time they raised that, and even to bring hawkers into town, it wasn't well thought out, and we stopped it. We want a better plan, and we've agreed now even with the national government on how to create space for those who are trading, space for pedestrians, and to encourage Nairobians to be able to leave their cars. But you can't do that without providing reliable public transport.
Alternative
transport.
Correct.
Tell don't come to town with your car. So how do you want me to come? Do I run or do I get on a bike? If I want to get on a bike, is there a bike lane? If I want to walk, is there a path to walk, or I'll be knocked down? So we said, let's create the necessary infrastructure for people to be able to leave their cars. I have buddies in New York, very rich guys, who don't own a car. You don't have to own a car in New York.
Yes.
You have guys in London who have never used their own private cars.
Yes.
Because public transport is reliable. It's efficient. Those days you're talking about, your new number 8 becomes number 42. Yes. And you panda the bus, it comes at 10 a.m. and it will take you to Dandora and to Kibera,
9 and 6.
9 and 6. It's a little route going around Gara, etc. And that's what we need to get back to. The problem with public transport in Kenya, Nairobi, the only thing public about it is the people and the road. It is completely in the hands of private sector, and that will change. It must change.
Will the BRT ever come? Okay, don't answer that.
Jeff, I have
It
one
will come, I
suggestion. I have one suggestion for the Senate.
Go on.
That I want to put to him to put on the BBI.
Go on.
Yes.
And this is.
See, this is
let's get
BBI.
4 guys. Let's get Jeff is standing, I am standing, and he is standing.
Yes.
Then we have another 4th candidate. The 4th candidate now who is put in here with the voter is none of the above. If none of the above comes, none of the above is more than the
other choices.
Vote, then that one is not. You don't go through. You don't go through.
None of the above.
None of the above.
That's brilliant.
None of the above. You, me, and him. We are the 3 competing.
Yes.
Now the people don't see any of these guys are there.
No.
Then somebody comes and he says, "You get 1,000." I get 1,000, 900. He gets 700. But then none of the above comes with 1,200.
And they win. Or you kill it.
Our elections will be...
The election is nullified automatically. No, it will not be endless.
We never finish.
Gentlemen, take a look at these. These are the latest pictures of the centenarian we're talking about. This was in Uganda. He was tracking gorillas. Sir Charles was tracking gorillas the other day with his family and daughters and son and his sons-in-law. And look at them. Look at him. That must have been on his bucket list to go and track gorillas. Ticked off.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Patrick Njiro, final closing thoughts about this man and 100 years later.
We have to live like we will die. Let's not live like we will never die, then we die like we never lived. Sir Charles has lived his life properly. He has done everything that is possible for everybody, for all himself and the people of Kenya. He has done enough for this country. And that is what I would want to tell my brother, my younger brother here.
Yes.
My younger brother here, I want to tell him, listen, you have an opportunity, you have a chance, you have a way to make this country, you have a way to go forward and do great things like the way you are doing. Take it only. Don't put it in your head. Let it not come to your head. Be humble like he has always been. He came from a humble background. He was not from the I know very well about that.
Yeah.
Take that, push it very well, and with that, we are going to implement some of the best things that we are doing, and he knows he has got all our support.
And he's 30 years younger than you.
He said he has got all my support.
Wow.
30 years younger than you. And 20 younger than me.
And if he rules the
look
next...
at this. He's going to be president one day.
Yeah.
This man will be president, and he'll make a great leader too.
Oh, goodness.
Honestly, he will.
One more, please. Always listen to the elderly.
Yeah.
Forget, because for me, I was very lucky. I had great friends who were older than me. I mean, somebody like Joseph Kamaru, you know, people of those, the wazees who have wisdom, because wisdom, you don't get it in any college.
No.
Get the people who are much elder than you, who are older than you.
Yeah.
Listen to them, get them, come to us. We are there, and we have sat down and we have talked and we have listened and we have done. Let's not make the mistakes which the other friends of ours have made.
Sure.
Let's not rush ourselves because, you see, like overspeeding kills. Even in rallying, overspeeding kills.
Says the speedster himself.
Yes, keep the speed, keep the standard speed, you know, so that we can be able to
Senator, you get the last word.
Jeff, after that, I have nothing to add. Thank you for the advice.
You see, he's already listening to the
Thank
elderly.
you for your advice.
Elders.
And happy 100 to Charles Njonjo. Oh, yeah.
Happy 100.
Fantastic. Superstar Patrick Njiru. Oh, in Japanese, just say something real quick because I love that. Go on.
本当に今晩ありがとうございます。皆さんいろいろありがとうございました。よーくチャールズ・ジョンジョンの100年におめでとうございます。
Wow.
ありがとう。
ありがとう。
It sounds like Kikuyu.
Thank you, Super Senator.
Thanks a lot,
Congrats,
Jeff.
man. Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure,
man. God bless you.
Next time, get Mutula.
I will. You know, I asked. He was in Makueni today.
Oh,
he was in Makueni, and he actually tried to come back, but he was just running late.
Yeah.
Every time he hears you're on, he wants to come on.
Likewise.
But thanks for coming on, man. Thank you.
Anytime, Jeff.
Appreciate it, man.
Asante.
Oh, really, very
Patrick.
good.
God bless Kenya.
God bless Kenya. I was
bless
about to
Kenya.
say that, but the senator has said it,
God
so I don't
bless
need to say it. Only don't forget, every Wednesday, those 3 letters on the keyboard that follow each other. You've seen the keyboard, right?
Yeah.
JKL.
That's what I'm talking about.
JKL.
Right here on Citizen Television.
Oh my,
What a
oh
discussion
my.
we had. These two folks. There's Patrick Njiru at 65, Senator Sakaja at 34, 35, and us in between. This is Kenya. And like the senator says, God bless Kenya, and happy 100th birthday, Sir Charles. What a man.
Wow.
Great man.
What a milestone. Good night. Good luck. God bless Kenya.
Good night.